My entitled brother ordered me to pay for his entire wedding because, as a woman, it's my duty. When I refused, he stood up at the reception, grabbed the mic, and announced, "This is why no one will ever marry her." The room fell silent as I slowly smiled and whispered, "Tell them who really paid for this wedding." His bride turned pale. I never expected my own brother to betray me like this. I knew he was selfish. I knew he was entitled. But I didn't think he would publicly humiliate me in front of hundreds of people. I didn't think he would turn our entire family against me. I didn't think he would make me the villain in a story where he was the one using and lying to everyone. But he did. And I didn't let him get away with it. My brother, Nathan, was always the favorite. He could do no wrong. When he got bad grades, it was the teacher's fault. When he lost jobs, his bosses were out to get him. When he treated people like garbage, they were too sensitive. Meanwhile, I, his older sister, was held to a completely different standard. I was expected to be responsible. I was expected to help. If I ever said no, I was selfish. Nathan leaned into it. He never learned how to take care of himself because someone was always there to clean up his mess. But I stopped doing that years ago. I worked my ass off, put myself through school, and built a solid career. I wasn't rich, but I was stable. And to my family, that meant I had an obligation to support Nathan whenever he needed it. So when he got engaged, I just knew, they were going to ask me for money. I just didn't expect this. Nathan called me out of nowhere, sounding unusually cheerful. "Nathan, hey, sis. I've got some exciting news." Me, Nathan, Chloe and I have been planning the wedding and we've decided you're paying for it. I laughed. Not just a little chuckle. A full-on laugh. He stayed silent, waiting for me to be done. Me, good one. Now what do you actually want? Nathan. I'm serious. He started listing out numbers. Venue costs. Catering. Photographer. Flowers. It was a ridiculous amount of money. Me, are you out of your mind? Nathan, no. Listen, you're the only one in the family who can afford it. You don't have a husband. You don't have kids. You make plenty of money, and it's your duty as my sister to help out. I was stunned. Me, Nathan. It is not my responsibility to pay for your wedding. Nathan, oh my God, you are so selfish. It's one day that's going to mean everything to me and Chloe. You really can't just do this one thing. Me, no. I can't. And I wouldn't even if I could. He lost it. Started ranting about how I was a bitter spinster who didn't understand love and how this is why no man would ever want me. I hung up. Then the real nightmare began. Nathan wasted no time turning my family against me. My phone blew up. First, it was my mom. Mom, how could you do this to your brother? Me, do what? Mom, abandon him. Refuse to help. You know he can't afford it. Me, then maybe he shouldn't be having a massive wedding in New York City. She gasped like I had slapped her. Mom, do you want your brother to be ashamed on his wedding day? You want him to look like a failure. Me, that is not my problem. She kept yelling. Called me selfish. Said I was shaming the family name. Then my dad called. Then my aunts. Then cousins I hadn't spoken to in years. Each one demanding to know why I wouldn't just help my brother. Apparently, Nathan had told them I refused out of spite. That I enjoyed watching him struggle. That I was jealous he was getting married and I wasn't. I cut contact. Blocked numbers. But I knew Nathan wasn't done. Despite everything, I still got an invitation. I shouldn't have gone. But I wanted to see. I wanted to know how he pulled it off. I assumed he took out loans. Or maybe he and Chloe had come to their senses and downsized. When I got to the venue, I realized how wrong I was. It was extravagant. The kind of wedding that cost 6 figures. Lavish decorations. A full orchestra. Custom floral arrangements hanging from the ceiling. There was no way Nathan could have afforded this. Dinner was 10 courses. Guests were drinking top-shelf liquor. Everything screamed money. And Nathan? Nathan was glowing. He was drunk before the reception even started. When it was time for speeches, he staggered up to the microphone, barely able to stand straight. And then he said the words that changed everything. Nathan, I just want to take a moment to thank my dear sister for nothing. People laughed. I froze. Nathan, yeah. See, my selfish sister, she refused to pay for my wedding. Can you believe that? More laughter. Nathan, and that's why no one will ever marry her. Silence. Every single person in that room turned to look at me. I felt the heat rise in my face. But I didn't cry. I didn't run. I just stood up. Walked over to Nathan. Took the microphone from his hand. Looked him dead in the eye. And whispered, tell them who really paid for this wedding. Nathan's face dropped. I turned to Chloe. She was already pale. I turned to her parents. They looked confused. Me, go ahead, Nathan. Tell them how you didn't spend a single cent on this wedding. Tell them how Chloe's parents paid for everything because you lied about how much money you had. Tell them how you let them think I was just being cruel when in reality, they were the ones footing the bill. Silence. I could hear a pin drop. Chloe's father stood up. Chloe's dad, is this true? Nathan didn't answer. Chloe's mother gasped. And then Chloe, standing at the head table in her $1,000 wedding dress, whispered, "You told me you paid for this." Nathan opened his mouth. No sound came out. And that's when I knew everything was about to explode. For a long, frozen second, nobody moved. Then, like a switch had flipped, everything exploded. Chloe turned on Nathan, her voice shaking. "Chloe, you lied to me. You swore you were paying for this. You said you had everything covered." Nathan stammered. "Nathan, I was going to. But your parents offered." Chloe offered. "We begged them because you said your accounts were frozen due to a banking error. You told me you had savings." Her father stepped forward, his hands balled into fists. "Chloe's dad, are you telling me, after everything my wife and I paid for, you let us believe her sister was the problem? That we had to cut people from our guest list because you claimed money was tight while letting your family think she abandoned you?" Nathan shrank back. "Nathan, we were all supposed to help. I thought Chloe's mom, help. You expected her to pay? You put this all on your sister while lying to my daughter. You spineless little," she cut herself off, breathing hard. Chloe's hands shook as she grabbed her dress, looking down at the beating like she didn't even recognize it. "Chloe, I wore this for you. I spent months planning this for you. And you didn't spend a single cent?" "Nathan, babe, come on. Don't be like this, Chloe. Don't. You dare." She turned to her parents, then back at Nathan. "Chloe, tell me the truth right now. Do you have any money?" Nathan swallowed. He didn't answer. That was all she needed. The sound of Chloe's palm connecting with Nathan's face echoed through the ballroom. People gasped. My mother let out a choked sob. Chloe's face was unreadable. "Chloe, I gave up everything for you. I fought my parents for you. And you just expected me to carry you forever?" Nathan held his cheek, eyes darting around the room like a trapped animal. "Nathan, we can fix this. This is just stress, Chloe." "Stress? You humiliated me. You humiliated your sister. You humiliated yourself." Her voice cracked. She turned to her parents. "Chloe, I am so sorry." Her father shook his head. "Chloe's dad, no, sweetheart. We warned you." Her mother looked close to tears. "Chloe's mom, we told you he was using you. But you wanted to believe him." Chloe shut her eyes, inhaled sharply, then turned back to Nathan. "Chloe, we're done." Nathan, no, you don't mean that, Chloe, we're done." She yanked off her wedding ring and slammed it onto the table. People gasped. Nathan lunged forward, grabbing her hands. "Nathan, baby, please. I love you. We can work this out. Chloe, let go of me." "Nathan, just listen, Chloe's dad. Get your hands off my daughter." Nathan froze. The tension was thick. Security was already moving. And then, my mother, who had been sitting in stunned silence, snapped. She shot up from her chair, knocking over a champagne flute. "Mom, how dare you do this to my son?" Chloe whipped around. "Chloe, excuse me. Mom, you're really going to humiliate him in front of everyone? Over some money?" I actually laughed. Out loud. Mom's head snapped toward me. "Me, oh, now you care about humiliation? Where was that concern when Nathan tried to drag me through the dirt?" "Mom, he was joking. It was a light-hearted moment." I raised an eyebrow. "Me, you call standing up at a microphone and declaring why I'll never get married a joke? Mom, you should have just let it go." I gestured to the wreckage of the wedding around us. "Me, yeah, clearly that strategy worked great for you." Chloe crossed her arms. "Chloe, so, you're mad at me? Not at your son who lied about his finances and expected your daughter to fund his entire life. Mom, Nathan has always struggled with responsibility. That's why we help him. That's what family does." Chloe's mother let out a bitter laugh. "Chloe's mom, no. That's what enablers do." My mom turned red. "Mom, don't you dare tell me how to raise my children." Chloe's dad, "Lady, your son isn't a child. He's a grown man who just got caught trying to scam his own fiancée and his sister." Nathan was shaking. "Nathan, Dad, help me out here." My father, who had been silent all night, finally spoke. "Dad, you told me she was lying." The whole room quieted. Nathan's face drained of color. "Dad, you told me your sister was refusing to help out of spite. You let me believe she was just being cruel." Nathan opened his mouth. Nothing came out. "Dad, I defended you. I called my own daughter selfish. I humiliated her. And the whole time, you were lying to me. Nathan reached out. Nathan. Dad, don't say another word. Mom was still fuming. Mom, are we really doing this? Turning on our own son because of some rich girl's tantrum. Chloe, rich girl. Mom, oh, don't act like you're not loving this. You and your parents think you're so much better than us. Chloe's dad, enough. Mom actually flinched. Chloe's dad, we let this wedding happen because our daughter begged us to. We paid for it because she swore you two were a team. And now I find out your son has been lying the entire time. Chloe's mom, and you knew. Mom went silent. Chloe let out a shaky breath. Chloe, I want everyone out. People gasped. Chloe, this wedding is over. Everybody leave. My mother looked horrified. Mom, you can't do that. It's your wedding night. Chloe, not anymore. She turned to Nathan. Chloe, you're not the man I thought I was marrying. Nathan's hands shook. Nathan, Chloe, go. Now. And then, as if things couldn't get worse, security stepped forward. People gasped. Nathan panicked. And for the first time in his life, Nathan realized he couldn't talk his way out of this. Nathan stood there, sweating, his mind scrambling for an escape. But there wasn't one. Security had moved closer, and people were whispering. The entire reception, hundreds of guests, coworkers, distant family, were watching him unravel. Chloe had enough. She looked at her father. Chloe, get him out. Nathan flinched. Nathan, no, babe, wait. Chloe's father nodded at security. The moment one of them reached for Nathan's arm, my mother lost her mind. Mom, you can't throw him out. He's the groom. Chloe's dad, he's a fraud. Nathan panicked and grabbed onto my mom. Nathan, Mom, do something. She whipped around and shoved a finger in my face. Mom, this is your fault. Oh, here we go. Mom, you started this. You ruined my baby's life. Are you happy now? I laughed. I actually laughed in her face. Me, yeah, Mom, it's totally my fault your son is a pathological liar. My father, who had been silent, suddenly stepped between us. Dad, enough. Mom, what? Dad, enough. Just stop. The way he said it made everyone pause. Nathan looked desperate. Nathan, Dad, you know I didn't. Dad, don't. Just don't. And that's when I saw it. The way my father's shoulders sagged. The way he refused to meet Nathan's eyes. He had finally realized what Nathan was. Just when I thought things couldn't get worse, someone's voice cut through the tension. A voice I hadn't heard in years. Hey, Nathan. Long time no see, buddy. Nathan's entire body went stiff. I turned. And there he was. A man in an expensive suit, leaning against the doorway. Smirking, arms crossed. I had no idea who he was. But Nathan? Nathan looked like he had seen a ghost. Nathan, what the hell are you doing here? The man's smirk widened. Man, heard you were getting married. Thought I'd drop by. Congratulate the happy couple. The room was dead silent. The man stepped forward, shaking his head. Man, damn, Nathan. You really haven't changed. Lying, manipulating people, making yourself out to be the victim. Classic you. I turned to Chloe. Me, who is this? Chloe, I don't know. The man grinned. Man, of course she doesn't. Because you probably never told her about me, huh? Nathan swallowed. I had never seen him this terrified. Me, all right. Who the hell are you? The man's grin faded. Man, I'm the guy who almost sued your brother. The room erupted in whispers. I turned to Nathan. Me, sued? For what? Nathan wouldn't look at me. The man scoffed. Man. Oh, he didn't tell you? Of course, he didn't. He likes to keep his biggest screw-ups buried. He stepped forward, looking directly at Chloe. Man, you might want to sit down for this, sweetheart. Chloe shook her head. Chloe, no. I want to know right now. The man didn't hesitate. Man, your fiancé used to work for me. A few years back. Until I caught him stealing. Gasps. Chloe visibly paled. Chloe, what? The man nodded. Man, yep. Caught him red-handed. Was ready to drag his ass to court too. I turned to Nathan, my heart pounding. Me, is that true? Nathan said nothing. Man, but see, your parents begged me not to. I whipped around to look at my mom and dad. They wouldn't meet my eyes. Me, what? The man shrugged. Man, they came to my office. Said Nathan was just going through a rough patch. Said it would destroy his future if I pressed charges. They even offered to pay me back the full amount he stole. My stomach dropped. Me, how much? The man sighed. Man, 50 grand. My jaw hit the floor. Me, 50? Chloe staggered back. Chloe, you stole 50 grand? Nathan snapped. Nathan, I was gonna pay it back. The man laughed. Man, no, you weren't. Nathan, shut up. Man, your parents begged me to let it go. So I did. But now, his eyes flicked to me. Man, now I know they covered up your bullshit for years. I turned to my parents. Me, you paid 50 grand to keep him out of jail, but you flipped out when I wouldn't pay for his wedding. My mom looked away. Me, are you serious? Mom, you don't understand. Me, no. I do understand. I took a deep breath. And then I turned to Chloe. She was shaking. Chloe, I don't even know who you are. Nathan stepped toward her. Nathan, baby, please, she flinched away. Chloe, don't touch me. She turned to her parents. Chloe, I'm done. Her mother grabbed her hands. Chloe's mom, sweetheart, let's go home. And just like that, she walked out. Nathan panicked. Nathan, wait, baby. But Chloe didn't look back. Security stepped forward again. And before Nathan could run after her, they grabbed him. And for the first time in his life, Nathan realized he had finally lost everything. Nathan struggled in the grip of the security guards, his face red with panic. Nathan, wait. Chloe, please. We can fix this. But she was already walking out, her hands clenched into fists, her wedding dress dragging across the floor. My mother tried to run after her. Mom, Chloe. Sweetheart, don't do this. He made a mistake, but Chloe spun around so fast that Mom actually stopped moving. Chloe, a mistake? A mistake? He spent months lying to me, lying to you, lying to my entire family. He told me he was paying for this wedding. He let you all attack his sister when he knew damn well this wasn't her fault. Her voice cracked. Chloe, I believed in him. And he used me. Her father reached out and gently touched her shoulder. Chloe's dad, come on, kiddo. Let's get out of here. She nodded, wiped her eyes, and kept walking. Nathan went wild. Nathan, no. Wait. I love you. Don't do this. Dad, and Mom, someone, help me. Nobody moved. Nobody spoke. Nathan's own father looked ashamed to be associated with him. Dad, Nathan, you did this to yourself. Nathan stopped struggling. His eyes darted around, desperate, but no one was coming to save him. And then his gaze landed on me. He sneered. Nathan, this is what you wanted, huh? To see me humiliated? To see me suffer? I crossed my arms. Me, no. I wanted you to take responsibility for once in your life. Nathan, you've been waiting for this moment. You hate me. You've always hated me. I tilted my head. Me, hate you? No, Nathan. I stopped caring about you a long time ago. His mouth fell open. For the first time in his entire life, he understood I wasn't his safety net anymore. And nobody else was either. Security escorted him out. The reception hall was silent except for the murmurs of guests who were still processing what just happened. And then, random guest. So, do we still get cake, or? Someone actually laughed. A few people clapped. Like they had just watched the season finale of a drama series. I sighed and turned to my parents. Me, you paid off his debts and still thought I was the problem? Mom looked furious. Mom, he's my son. I had to protect him. Me, at my expense? Dad finally spoke, his voice quiet. Dad, we were wrong. Mom turned on him. Mom, you're taking her side now? Dad, it's not sides, Carol. We enabled him. And look what happened. Mom's face twisted, like she couldn't believe what she was hearing. And then she did the one thing I least expected. She turned and stormed out. Didn't say another word. Didn't look at me. Didn't even look at Dad. Just walked away. Dad let out a long sigh. Dad, I should have stopped this a long time ago. I didn't know what to say. But for the first time in my life, I actually felt sorry for him. Nathan and Chloe? Completely over. Chloe's family cut him off. He tried to apologize weeks later, first to Chloe, then to me. Neither of us listened. Last I heard, he was couch surfing between relatives, looking for someone else to carry him. Mom? She refused to talk to me for a while. She still blames me. But Dad? Dad finally saw what I had been saying all these years. And in the end, that was enough for me. As for me, I'm still single. Still thriving. And I have never been happier. Sometimes people never change until they lose everything. Sometimes they never change at all. And sometimes you just have to walk away and let them destroy themselves.